The Democratic People's Republic of Korea, or North Korea as it is more commonly known, stands as a unique and perplexing state in our modern world. For over 70 years, it has been governed by a single family, the Kims. Grandfather, son, and now grandson have ruled with an iron fist, maintaining a grip on power that appears absolute and unshakable. Unlike many other authoritarian regimes around the globe, North Korea has never faced a successful military coup. This remarkable stability is not an accident. It is the result of a meticulously constructed system designed to ensure the military remains utterly loyal, not to the state, but to the supreme leader himself. This system is a complex blend of deification, fear, reward, and control. At the very core of the Kim dynasty's power is a powerful and pervasive cult of personality. The leader is not just a political figure, he is presented to the people as a divine being, a god king whose wisdom and strength are unmatched. From the moment they are born, North Koreans are taught that the Kims are responsible for every good thing in their lives, from the sunshine to the harvest. This quasi-religious reverence extends deep into the ranks of the Korean People's Army. For a general to even consider betraying the supreme leader would be more than just treason. It would be an act of blasphemy against the nation's savior, a figure they have been conditioned to worship. This deification of the leader creates a psychological barrier that is incredibly difficult to overcome. Military commanders, like all citizens, are surrounded by portraits, statues, and monuments dedicated to the Kim family. Their lives are saturated with propaganda that reinforces the leader's mythical status. Stories of Kim Il-sung's heroic battles against the Japanese or Kim Jong-il's supposed supernatural abilities are taught as historical fact. For the military elite, plotting against such a figure would feel like challenging the natural order of the universe, a deeply ingrained belief that makes organizing a rebellion almost unthinkable from the outset. It is a system of mental control that is as powerful as any physical chain. The relationship between the leader and the military is therefore one of profound dependency. The Kim's rule is built upon the foundation of their military-first policy, which prioritizes the army above all other aspects of society. This gives the generals immense prestige and ensures the armed forces receive the best resources the struggling country can offer. However, this power is entirely granted by the supreme leader. He is the sun, and the generals are merely planets orbiting him. Their authority, their status, and their very existence depend entirely on his favor. This makes them indispensable tools of the regime, but also ensures they can never become a threat to it. To prevent any single military figure from becoming too powerful or ambitious, the North Korean regime has engineered a sophisticated and deliberately fragmented power structure. No single general or commander is given complete control over a significant portion of the armed forces. Instead, command is broken down into smaller, competing units. A corps commander might have authority over his troops, but he will not control the political officers embedded within his ranks, nor will he have command over the local security forces or border guards operating in the same area. This intentional division ensures that no one individual can mobilize enough military might to pose a credible threat to Pyongyang. This strategy of fragmentation is reinforced by a deeply paranoid and all-encompassing surveillance system. The regime does not simply trust its generals, it watches them relentlessly. Multiple overlapping intelligence agencies are tasked with monitoring the military elite, and these agencies are encouraged to spy on each other as well. The Ministry of State Security, the nation's secret police, keeps extensive files on senior officers. At the same time, the Military Security Command, an internal Army intelligence unit, watches for any signs of disloyalty within the ranks. This creates an atmosphere of constant suspicion, where every general knows that his aides, his driver, or even his fellow commanders could be informants. The constant threat of being watched makes it almost impossible for potential conspirators to communicate, let alone organize a complex plot like a coup. Any unusual meeting between generals, any whispered conversation, or any coded message would likely be detected by the web of spies and reported directly to the leadership. This system breeds intense paranoia and mistrust among the military elite, isolating them from one another. A general can never be certain who he can trust, making the idea of forming a secret alliance to overthrow the regime a suicidal gamble. It is far safer for each officer to focus only on demonstrating their own individual loyalty. Furthermore, the regime frequently rotates, promotes, and demotes senior military figures, A general who is in a powerful position today could find himself demoted to a minor role tomorrow, for no apparent reason other than the leader's whim. This constant shuffling prevents any individual from building a lasting power base or forging strong loyalties with the troops under their command. It keeps the generals insecure and perpetually off balance, forcing them to compete with one another for the supreme leader's approval rather than collaborating against him. This instability is not a flaw in the system. It is a key feature designed to ensure no one feels secure enough to challenge the throne. While fear is a powerful tool of control, the Kim regime understands that loyalty must also be rewarded. For the top military commanders and their families, life in North Korea is vastly different from that of the average citizen. They are granted access to a world of luxury and comfort that is unimaginable for most. This includes spacious, well-appointed apartments in the best districts of Pyongyang, access to special shops stocked with imported goods like foreign liquor and electronics, and the use of luxury cars. These privileges create a powerful incentive to remain loyal, as they are entirely dependent on the goodwill of the supreme leader and can be taken away in an instant. This system of patronage creates what can be described as a golden cage. The military elite live lives of immense privilege, but they are prisoners of that privilege. They understand that their comfortable existence is not earned through merit alone, but is a gift bestowed upon them for their unwavering devotion to the Kim family. Any sign of disobedience, or even a perceived lack of enthusiasm, can result in the immediate revocation of all their benefits. They and their families would be cast out from the elite, forced to endure the hardships faced by the general population. This stark contrast between their current life and the alternative serves as a constant, powerful motivator to stay in line. The rewards extend beyond material goods to include opportunities for their children. The sons and daughters of high-ranking officials are given access to the best education and are often fast-tracked into prestigious positions within the government, the party, or the military itself. This ensures that loyalty becomes a family affair, a legacy passed down through generations. A general who contemplates betrayal is not just risking his own life and career, he is gambling with the future prosperity and safety of his entire family. This intertwining of personal and familial fortune makes the cost of disloyalty catastrophically high, reinforcing the cage's golden bars. Ultimately, this system ensures that the military leadership has a vested personal interest in maintaining the status quo. They are the primary beneficiaries of the regime's structure. A coup would not only be dangerous but could also lead to a new system where their privileged status is no longer guaranteed. Why risk everything for an uncertain future when the present, for them, is so comfortable? The regime has made it so that the safest and most profitable path for any general is to be the most loyal and enthusiastic supporter of the supreme leader. Their comfort is directly tied to their obedience, making them willing guardians of the very system that controls them. Beyond the allure of luxury, the Kim regime enforces loyalty through the brutal and unrelenting application of fear. The consequences for disloyalty are not merely a loss of privilege. They are often public, horrific, and extend to one's entire family. The regime is infamous for its periodic purges, where high-ranking officials who have fallen out of favor are publicly denounced and executed. These events are not hidden away, but are often advertised as a stark warning to others. The infamous execution of Kim Jong-un's own uncle, Jang Song-thaek, who was once the second most powerful man in the country, sent a clear message: no one is safe from the leader's wrath. These purges serve to create a climate of terror that permeates the highest levels of the military and government. Generals are acutely aware that a single misstep, a perceived slight, or a rumor of dissent could lead to their own gruesome end. They have seen colleagues and rivals vanish overnight, erased from official photographs and history as if they never existed. This constant threat of a purge ensures that even the most powerful commanders live in a state of perpetual anxiety. It is a system designed to crush ambition before it can even take root, as the risks associated with any form of plotting are simply too great to contemplate for any rational actor. The regime's system of collective punishment, known as songbun, is another powerful deterrent. This system classifies citizens based on their perceived loyalty to the regime, and this classification is hereditary. If a high-ranking officer is accused of treason, it is not only he who will suffer. His immediate family, and often 3 generations of his relatives, will also be punished. They can be imprisoned in brutal political prison camps, known as kwanliso, or exiled to remote, impoverished areas of the country. This practice makes betrayal an act of war against one's own bloodline, a moral burden that is almost impossible to bear. Finally, the regime reinforces loyalty by prioritizing personal connections and family ties over pure military competence. Key positions within the armed forces are often filled by individuals connected to the Kim family by blood or by long-standing relationships forged in childhood. Kim Jong-un has placed his own trusted allies and relatives in critical posts, ensuring that the people in charge of the nation's firepower are personally devoted to him. This creates an inner circle bound by more than just political allegiance. These overlapping layers of control, the cult of personality, constant surveillance, division of power, rewards, and terrifying punishments, combine to make a military coup in North Korea a near impossibility.